Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors. Of course, go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders, great millstone, who deserve double honors. Salutations to the other Akim out there, pushing his truth and honesty and sincerity across the four corners. All right, trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect. This is Nama with the DC camp. And lo and behold, even though I'm about a week late, but still needs to get out. This is these wicked ass Edomites closing the back door behind them, so to speak. What's happening here is the state legislation threatening livestock farms. Now, I'm sure for those of you that have figured out what's going on, either on your own or you've been listening to Great Millstone and other Israelite camps pushing the same doctrine that are trying to tell you, match up current events with the scriptures and letting you know that this food shortage is all orchestrated. All right. So what they're doing with the livestock here, as I said, they're in an attempt to close the door behind them and punish people just in case. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. It's from Agriculture Online, all right, from last week. And it says, while we are watching the big one, California's Prop 12, which is now being considered by the U.S. Supreme Court, other state livestock proposals have popped up across the country. All right, so other states are attempting to follow suit. It says some, if enacted, could put livestock farms out of business entirely. Now you understand why Bill Gates is also buying up all this land, and yet he's not, according to the article I read a couple of days ago, he's still not at the top of the list as far as, well, maybe he is at the top, but not the current top 5 as far as owning the. I wish I had pulled that up to show you. I was shocked. I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, it says this post outlines just a few of the nationwide trends to watch. So the people that own the most land in this United States, you got 5,000 square miles. And you're talking about the number of people you can count on one hand. That's crazy. Anyway, it says in Colorado, the state Supreme Court struck down Initiative 16, which would have added fish and livestock to the animal cruelty laws. So this is what they're going to do now. It says it's animal cruelty for you to butcher your livestock for food. See where they're going with this? These some slick motherfuckers, boy. It says Initiative 16 would also have criminalized common livestock breeding practices. So they don't even want you to breed. You see, for you people that thought we were conspiracy theorists, you know, you could also follow Dabu 7. All right. He's current, up to date with this information as well, and a few others. Finally, it would have required that slaughtering of livestock only occur if an animal has lived a quarter of its estimated 20-year natural lifespan, for example. Now, this one, I'm kind of divided about it. And a lot of people are going to look at, with the stink eye, but if that be the case, this is the way it's supposed to be all along, because now you wouldn't have to inject all these fucking chemicals and, steroids and all these antibiotics and shit like that if it was done right. And we wouldn't be suffering like we're suffering today with all this shit that they inject into the livestock and also the plants and vegetables, Like it says, let me get it real quick. This is why we're not nowhere near what we're supposed to be. I mean, they're attacking us from every angle that you can think of. Let's go to Isaiah 24. Oh, it makes no sense that you can't walk, even at my age, a block without, I'm talking about walking people, let alone running. It kind of be like out of breath. This is Isaiah 24 verse 5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. And there's also supposed to be land Sabbaths. Now, this wicked, evil piece of shit that we're under, who's known in the world today as a so-called white man, which he's not, but his biblical nationality is that of Edom, the descendants of Jacob's brother Esau, all right? This is, I mean, to keep it short and sweet, we just need to get the fuck up out of here. Anyone that wants to stay under the rulership of this devil, you got issues, all right? Serious issues. It says this would have interfered with beef cattle and other livestock harvested for meat. Fine if you're going to do it like that, and like I said, and not inject them with steroids that hastens the growth process. But if you were to do this, then you wouldn't have a whole lot of other problems that come with it. You wouldn't have the obesity issues that Americans, overwhelmingly, a majority of which are Americans. You have to understand too that some of the shit that's sold here in the U.S., they don't get away with that in other countries. I'm thinking of England, across the pond. They don't tolerate that shit. Like something simple like high fructose corn syrup. All right, which you want to know about the obesity problem? That's a large contributor. Also, it contributes to type 2 diabetes. But staying on the livestock here, these states, like I said, they're closing the door behind. They don't want to leave any out for people. Bill Gates is coming, behind and buying up all the fucking land and shit. It doesn't look too good, and I suspect what's going to happen is going to kick off during the summer, around the 4th, as I've heard others say, and it sounds about right. I heard this last year, I believe. Anyway, continuing on with this, it says the Colorado Supreme Court ruled that the initiative was too broad and attempted to address too many issues in one initiative, which could confuse voters. In Oregon, Initiative Petition 13 would have criminalized hunting. What? And slaughtering livestock. Ending livestock farming completely in the state. Initiative Petition 13 would also have made common animal breeding practices sex crimes. The fuck? Oregon Farm Bureau and other agricultural groups mobilized to educate the public and block the petition. At the end of March 2022, the chief petitioner withdrew IP 13 from consideration in 2022. It seems like this is something they were trying to sneak past the people, and enough of them got wind of it, they had to pull it back. It goes on to say, states traditionally more friendly to agriculture are also being inundated with proposals to ban modern livestock farming. And man, we keep telling you this shit is serious. Motherfuckers are sleeping. In Iowa, House File 2305 was introduced in February 2022. HF 2305 will completely ban construction of new confined feeding operations and will prohibit expansion of existing CFOs. The bill would also increase fines for livestock farms and would hold integrators legally liable for issues at contract grower sites. On February 9, 2022, the bill was referred to the Agriculture Committee in the Iowa House. It died in committee. A similar bill to ban CFOs, all right, and that's confined feeding operations, just so you, when I say CFOs, has also been proposed in California, and Senator Cory Booker has reintroduced a federal bill to put a moratorium on CAFOs, the Farm System Reform Act. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to problematic proposed legislation, but a number of states already have passed impactful livestock and poultry legislation. For example, laws in at least 8 states, Nevada, Massachusetts, California, Colorado, Michigan, Oregon, Utah, and Washington, require all eggs sold in each respective state to be from cage-free facilities. Other states have enacted laws banning the common practice of using gestation crates, metal enclosures used to house pregnant pigs, or stipulate space requirements for animals to stand and turn around. But, perhaps unsurprisingly, these laws don't usually get passed in states that actually raise the most pigs. Why is that? And you see this in cap here. It says showing you hog welfare laws and share of U.S. hog inventory, which we don't, have anything to do with pigs. All right, nothing to do with the pork. All right. It says, so while the California Prop 12 battle at the Supreme Court takes up most of our attention, there are plenty of other legislative proposals and laws passed in one state that could impact farms in other states. Isaiah 10 and 1, these unrighteous decrees. Let's get that real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them, destruction unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. This is a grievous thing. Why? Because it's going to impact the people. Of course, the poor people the most, which just happen to be the majority of which are Jake. All right? There's a reason it's called Jacob's trouble, and it's shaping up to be just that. All right? 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. We've always said, where are you going to go? Your money's going to be no good. What scriptures we bring up? Zephaniah 1st chapter. James 5th chapter. Ezekiel 7th chapter. All right, your money's no good. Your silver's no good. Your gold's no good. The elites have brought up all that. That's why they want to change this system to digital. And we're going to say it over and over and over and over, no matter how tired you get of it. Our job is to warn the people. Ezekiel 3rd chapter. All right. Now, if you fail to take heed, that's on you. But we've wiped the blood off our hands. We did what we were required. Let's inform you of what's coming down the pike. All right. 3, and what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help? And where will ye leave your glory? Where you going to roll? Where you going to run to? As the song says. I tell you, you people that are praying to JC, you's in trouble. All right. Let's see. I already read that. Yeah, that's about it. It says, for example, more and more eggs nationwide are being produced in cage-free facilities to comply with various state laws or requirements from restaurants or food companies. The Supreme Court's eventual ruling on Prop 12 could slow similar state laws from being enacted or give them the green light. You also, for those of you that are unaware, 5.3 million chickens were killed off last weekend or sometime last week before the weekend. Come on now. Because of so-called bird flu. And a lot of you will still doubt that this is going to happen. Look at this. meat packers, still bringing migrants over the border. Uh, report the majority, this is from Agriculture Online, the majority of farmers applying to USDA conservation, hold on, let me bring it up. The majority of farmers applying to, what the hell is going on here? The USDA conservation programs are being rejected. Why? Because they're shutting this down. This is being done on purpose. All right. I'm not going to go into that, but you can read it for yourself. I'll put the link. All right. Let's see. And still you see stupid shit like, will Congress legalize marijuana? You got to understand also, a lot of this shit that's going on now is meant to distract you from the real threats. All right. Like this abortion shit. Like, I mean, personally, I don't give a fuck. And again, this is just another distraction. All right. They're both, well, at least that side is missing the point. You're saying we know I'm not going to even get into that. You know what? It's a stupid argument. And this is another indication of how the women have just gotten completely out of control and allowed to be out of control, I might add. All right. You've given, as if the man doesn't play the biggest part of that, you know, him planting the seed first of all, but you give them all this power and yet you still don't want to hold them accountable for anything. And that's the huge problem. But that's all I'm going to say on that. So again, this video has been on state legislation threatening livestock farms. All these distractions. Don't be distracted, people. Akim, do not, and a few Aquath that happen to see this, don't be distracted. Keep your focus, all right? Hey, so with that, shalom.